Well, here we are at the Cape St George Historic Lighthouse. I've just been reading up on it, and it really is a terribly tragic place. I'll put a link to an article below the video. Suffice to say, as it's referred to as a cursed lighthouse. But anyway, let's get going and we'll take a closer look. So just coming up on the lighthouse now, little bit of the history. It was actually built in the wrong place because the designer who designed the Sydney Observatory didn't consult with the pilots, the ship pilots, about the location of the lighthouse, and it was actually in the wrong place, built in the wrong place. So basically what happened was 13 ships perished before, and countless others that are, you know, that's just an estimation of 13, before they realised they had to do something about the lighthouse. So they built a new one further down this coastline, but then they had a problem that when the light fell on this lighthouse, some ships mistook this lighthouse for the real lighthouse. So in the end they just blew this one up to stop the mistakes happening. The lighthouse keepers, I mean, the story doesn't stop there. So many people died on this site. Lighthouse keepers' daughters, families, young children, lighthouse keepers being kicked in the head, transport dying before they got to the hospital with one of their horses, children passing away from, you know, accidents like tripping over loaded guns. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I'd say one thing is for sure, that this lighthouse is associated with death of one kind or another. Okay, we're just about to the lighthouse, but here you can see the stables, and I just want to draw your attention to the thickness of the wall. Now, the stables are important here because getting supplies to the lighthouse was really difficult. They had to bring them in through Murray's Beach, 4 kilometres away, and there wasn't a lot of grass around here for them to eat, because this is kind of more country that goats would be more comfortable in. So yeah, I guess they looked after the horses that they actually had. So we're actually inside the living conditions. I just want to let you know that this lighthouse was built in 1860, and it was operational from 1860 to 1877. According to this sign that they've put up here, it's a historical site now. 15 people, including the lighthouse keepers, 2 assistant lighthouse keepers and their families, lived in this 8-room complex. Wow. As I've said, it was a long way to truck in supplies. So yeah, pretty cramped. And as you can see, 15 people. I mean, now it's just overgrown with grass and coastal kind of vegetation, and it's hard to imagine that at one point this probably was, as there is a fireplace there, probably was someone's living room. So here's a picture of what the lighthouse really looked like before they blew it up. It was designed by colonial architect Alexander Dawson and built in 1860. It actually had 3 stories, and all this beautiful sandstone you see here came from quarries in this Jervis Bay area. And you can see here just how much the lighthouse has given way to the seaside vegetation. I just want to read you a little bit of this. Due to the number of shipwrecks occurring near Cape St George, it was decided that a lighthouse was vital for the safe navigation of coastal shipping. However, egotism, laziness and insufficient research and consultation were to have dire consequences. And that is what occurred here. They didn't consult with the people that knew and built the lighthouse in the wrong place. Here's a little bit of the tragedy here. On the far left here is Harriet Parker, who died after a horrific shooting accident led to her premature death at only 19. Centre is Nellie Bailey, daughter of Edward Bailey, and Edward Bailey, an assistant lightkeeper who drowned while fishing off the rocks at Green Cape. So as I said, a number of people died. That's why there's this tale, they describe it here, of woe, disaster and misery for those people that actually lived here. Isabella Jane Lee, daughter of the lighthouse keeper, died of typhus fever. 13-year-old George Gibson died from pleurisy. Typhoid struck again, taking Florence Bailey, an 11-year-old daughter of the 3rd assistant lightkeeper. Edward Bailey drowned off the rocks below the lighthouse. Francis Henry Harmer, the son of Mary Harmer, a single woman who lived at the lighthouse, had a habit of pushing large rocks over the cliff edge to amuse himself. Well, he toppled over. The assistant lighthouse keeper, as I said, kicked in the head, died before he reached hospital. And one of the most disturbing tragedies involved two teenage girls. Kate Gibson tripped while skylarking with a loaded firearm, the gun discharged striking her friend Harriet Parker in the back of the skull, killing her instantly. Harriet Parker's gravesite can be found in the Green Patch camping area. That's what I'm picking up. That is what I'm picking up on. I'm picking up on Kate Gibson and Harriet Parker and the tragedy that happened here. There's something that we need to explore with that. Here are a list of the shipwrecks in the Jervis Bay area. Certainly after the lighthouse was built in 1860, some of these can be attributed to this cursed lighthouse that we're currently standing behind.
Or is that something else? Oh, there's a dolphin there, or something there. Yeah, like straight below.
Oh yeah, a dolphin. Towards the boat. Let me hope he's holding my shoulder.
So he's just surfacing. We've got a whale here that's just breaking the surface. I'm not sure if anyone can notice. Eagle Eyes will. There he is. Oh no, actually that's a dolphin.
That's a dolphin.
But there is a whale around here as well. I wonder if we'll see him surface. Hi everyone, this is Maryann here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. If you've been following along on this ride so far today, you would have seen the lighthouse and of course the tragic deaths that either resulted from shipwrecks with the lighthouse being built in the wrong place, through to the deaths of many children, whether that be from typhoid or other diseases. But perhaps the most tragic, and the one that I'm picking up on, is the death of Harriet Parker, the lighthouse keeper's daughter, who was shot accidentally, I'm going to say accidentally, by a friend who tripped and fell, was carrying the shotgun, tripped and fell, shot Harriet in the back of the head, and of course she died instantly. That's the death that I'm picking up on, and I do see Harriet when she was a small girl coming out of the what would have been the front door of the lighthouse and literally skipping on her way out to play. The image that I got when I first got here was very familiar to the one that is presented on the board, which is why I know that she's here. So I have my dowsing rods. It's fairly populated, so it's hard for me to let loose here, but let's just see. Is spirit here? And I'm getting a yes. Let me just move back so you can see without falling off the edge of the seat. And of course the wind is picking up. If so, I will pull out the tarot cards. So there's our no. So I'm just going to see if I can pick up on Harriet, please. Is Harriet here? Is Harriet here? So that's a yes. And what I'm seeing is her in her coffin, and I think they bandaged her eyes for whatever reason, whether that was because the wound was at the back of the head. Yeah, okay. So I don't know why I'm getting, was that a practice in the 1860s or 70s of bandaging eyes so the eyelids would stay shut? I don't know. That's what she's giving me, that she can't see. Perhaps that's what she first experienced when the gun went off, this instant blackness. Why are you showing me this image? Okay, so there's a yes there. So she didn't really know what had happened, and she just saw this instant darkness. And so, okay, what else am I going to get here? It's just the wind is picking up, so I don't want to. Let's see if I can just get some more clairvoyant images. Okay, so what is it about this bandaging of the eyes? Okay, the person that tripped over couldn't see whatever she was tripping over. Okay, so I'm getting this. There's a not wanting to blame the friend that shot her, and there's something about she couldn't see, or she couldn't look, or she couldn't see. All right, what else do we need to know here? There's something around going downhill. She's giving me an image of going downhill, and I'm not sure where the accident happened. If her friend tripped on a rock, they could have been walking. I mean, this landscape is full of rocks. They could have been walking downwards, because that's the image that I'm getting. Yeah, she's showing me what happened. Now the wind's died down a little. Let's see if we can pick up some more. Oh my goodness me, yeah, I can just feel the current coming through these rods like a conductor. Okay, so something behind me to this is just so drawing me. What is this? It's like a very strong pull. Did the accident happen in anywhere in this vicinity that I'm sitting? Yes or no? Yes or no? No, she's saying. Then what's behind me? What is behind me? Show me what is. Do you want me to? Is this the boy that tripped over the cliffs? Is this? I'm just getting multiple images here. What is it that you want to show me? Is this a place that you and your friend came to play, to sit? Okay, yes, okay, and it would have been, there's something around just right behind me. I can't see, that's special to her. Is that what you wanted to convey? Is that what you wanted to convey? Okay, so she's saying to me that the friendship it was an accident, and of course I'm getting behind me, and that there would have been many hours passed in friendship with this person. Do you blame her at all? Do you blame her at all? Yes or no? Do you blame your friend at all? So no. Okay, no, she doesn't. Okay, did you finally find the light, Harriet? Did you find the light? Harriet, did you find the light? Are you in the light? Oh, thank goodness. Yes, she is. She finally found the light. So I think the message there for us is that this was a tragic accident. And I think, you know, sometimes it's not expressed that way. There's a lot of hype around this lighthouse. I brought my REM pod with me. It will pick up temperature drops. I just want to see if you're here, Harriet, if you could touch the REM pod for me. If you touch this silver thing, you can make a noise. It is so beautiful here. Just to finish on Harriet and anybody else that I was picking up, I'm just going to ask, is this lighthouse cursed? Is this lighthouse cursed? Now that wants to come out and we get the High Priestess. So this lighthouse has its secrets, and we also get loss here, the Eight of Cups at the base of the energy. So, or the energy at the base of the pack, I should say. Having said all that, if it wasn't cursed beforehand, the designer, through ego and lack of research and was responsible for so many deaths. And this lighthouse now has that reputation, and unfortunately with curses, this is what happens. They may not have started out that way, but so much negative energy, including from the people that come, you get this kind of energy around judgment and justice. Interesting. But I'm also getting moderation as well, and temperance and healing. So it is perhaps us that are in the living that need to do the healing. Let's see, do you have any messages, Harriet, because we made that connection? Do you have any messages for us? Do you have any messages for us? Something, okay, so decisions. Oh, now we're getting to the crux of it. A fork in the road and decisions being made, and the wrong decision being made. Here's the ego. I'm definitely picking up on the tragedies that didn't have to happen, the disappointments, three and 1 cup remaining, 3 losses and 1 cup remaining, the losses that didn't have to happen. And the Hierophant card, spiritual justice, our higher selves and the families. Okay, so here I'm seeing the tragedy that befell the families. That's what she wants me to also know as a result of this person's ego and not really giving in until he was forced to do so, and they ended up destroying the lighthouse. Last messages, please, Harriet. For the love of the family. Okay, so we get things happening very, very quickly here. Lots of, the Hierophant, spiritual. So I'm picking up maybe with that High Priestess, maybe on spiritual activity around here. Am I correct? Is this what you want me to know? This spiritualism of this place. I can certainly feel it. Last messages, please. Yeah. That's exactly it. Lots of headlines. Lots of headlines as well, whether it be in the newspaper or whatever about this place. I have to say, it's a very peaceful part of the world, and I suspect there's some land land spirits, land energies here that make this pretty formidable. It's Boundary National Park in Jervis Bay. And unfortunately, people flock to this lighthouse because of the tragedy and the story of ruination for so many. And unfortunately, what I'm picking up is that it is true that these are tragedies that didn't have to happen. But anyway, that's it for the lighthouse. I don't think it's cursed at all. I think it's a warning against not speaking up. The pilots, perhaps, who were powerless with this great designer, architect, who couldn't be heard, and eventually so many deaths before something was done. But right now, in the present day, it's pretty peaceful.